Genevieve Sweeney Limited produces Premium British Knitwear, utilising manufacturing skills from the British Isles and yarns sourced from Italy, Yorkshire and small micro mills that specialise in custom yarn blends. I started my own brand just through the pure love and addiction and passion to knitwear. I've developed my personal knowledge through kind of visiting factories and spending time with the mills, learning the processes and also learning how to program the machinery to just kind of get a true understanding and kind of 360 view of the knitwear industry and how a garment is produced. The products produced start from quite high-end, authentically Scottish pieces that are hand-intarsiaed with 100% cashmere and very luxurious. They're also combined with very contemporary silhouettes with interesting yarns with different characteristics. So it's kind of a blend of contemporary style with traditional artisan skills. The knitwear is made in the Scottish borders, Leicester and London, and I've sourced each factory and really showed off their strengths in what they can produce. So in Scotland, I work with David, who's a hand intarsier, incredibly passionate and talented. His just level of skill and attention to detail is really beautiful.
I started intarsia knitting in 1982, I think it was. Intarsia's all laid by hand, every individual thread is put in by hand. It takes about 12 months to learn the basics. Of course it takes a lot longer to learn other things.
I also work with John and Juliet, who run a micro mill in the Scottish borders and specialise in alpaca custom spun yarn. And then also I work with Raymond, Jude and Jacqueline, and they put everything together. So that includes all the washing, linking and the final finishing.
For a living, we turn people's alpaca fleece into yarn for them.
Alpaca fibre is fantastically soft, very, very fine. It's going to be anything from as low as about 15 microns, which is, thousandth of a millimetre, up to around about 30, but anything in that range is far softer than most sheep wool will be.
It's an all-round very nice fibre to work with, and it's quite nice dealing with a niche market as well.
It's warm, it's hypoallergenic, it's water retardant, it's basically got the whole package in one fibre.
David will bring down the panels and the sleeves. If it's just an intarsia front, Raymond will knit the backs and sleeves. And then I'll put it together and June gets it for tacking and then it gets washed. Then after it's washed, June will cut it and then it comes back to me to put the trimmings on. Then it goes back to June to complete it and then the product's ready for release.
The knitwear industry is definitely rising within the UK. There's definitely an importance and provenance where the garment is made and the authenticity of it. It's such a high level of skill within the Scottish borders and Yorkshire, and unfortunately they don't have the outlet to use those skills. So one of the things I love is working with David, the intarsia knitter, on a skill that no one ever really sees anymore.
In the borders I only know maybe a handful of hand intarsias. I think it's pretty sad the way companies have closed down. There's very few people doing it now and I'm still glad to be a part of it.
It's more quality than quantity we deal with because we take pride in what we do. Because everything we do is bespoke. That's what people have ordered and that's what people are getting.
My favourite part of the job is sourcing the yarn for the raw material, designing and developing, like being in my studio and just kind of going wild with the knitting and seeing what I can create and how I can push the machinery. And then it's also working closely with the manufacturers and bringing the design to life. My aspiration for the brand is to be an authority on knitwear, to promote artisan skills and traditional techniques as they're beautiful objects that can't be produced in bulk manufacturing, but it's also looking at innovation both in the raw material, the yarn and also the processes used.